I grew up in a quiet town in northern Pennsylvania, the kind of place where hunting season wasn't just a hobby, it was practically a holiday. Schools would shut down on opening day because half the town would disappear into the woods before sunrise. My dad introduced me to hunting when I was young, and by my early 20s, I was comfortable going out alone. Or at least, I thought I was. This happened in late November 2021, during archery season. A thin layer of snow covered the ground, perfect for tracking. I had permission to hunt on a large private property, about 70 acres of dense woods, with an old logging trail cutting through it. Deep in the back, there was a rotting hunting cabin nobody used anymore. I arrived before sunrise, around 5:15 a.m., parking near a rusted gate like always. As I walked in with my headlamp cutting through the dark, something felt off. The woods were too quiet, not peaceful, just empty. Still, I brushed it off. I climbed into my tree stand and waited for daylight. About an hour after sunrise, something caught my eye and instantly made my stomach tighten. Roughly 60 yards away, there was another tree stand. The problem? It hadn't been there before. I knew this land well enough to swear on it. And yet, there it was. An old, weathered ladder stand, like it had been dragged out of storage and planted there overnight. Then I noticed the footprints. There was only one trail in the snow. A single set of prints leading from deep in the woods straight to that stand. No tracks leaving it. None. Around 8 a.m., I saw movement near it. At first, I thought it was a deer, but then a man stepped into view. He wasn't wearing camouflage, just a dirty gray hoodie and dark pants. He stood completely still, staring in my direction. Then slowly, he raised his hand and waved. Not friendly, not casual, just acknowledging me. I gave a hesitant wave back. A few seconds later, he stepped behind a tree and disappeared. Not walked away, just gone. I kept watching, waiting for him to reappear from the other side. He never did. Later, around 10 a.m., I climbed down and walked over to where I'd seen him. The snow around the tree? Untouched. No tracks. No movement. Nothing. Just that same single trail of footprints, leading to the empty stand, then stopping. Right there. That was the moment my chest tightened for real. And things only got worse from there. I should have left right then. Honestly, that was the smart move. But instead, I convinced myself there had to be a logical explanation. Another hunter. Someone messing around. Anything normal. So I stayed. As I walked back toward my stand, I noticed something strange tied to a branch at eye level. A strip of bright orange fabric. It looked like it had been torn from a hunting vest. Then I saw another one. And another. They weren't random. They were placed deliberately at different heights, like markers. That uneasy feeling came back stronger. Around noon, I went back to my truck to eat and warm up. Even sitting there, engine running, I couldn't shake the sensation that I was being watched from the tree line. I almost left. Almost. Instead, I went back in around 2 p.m. for the evening sit. That decision? I regret it. About an hour before sunset, I heard slow footsteps behind me. Heavy. Too deliberate to be an animal. I turned slowly, and there he was again. Closer this time, maybe 30 yards away. Now I could see his face clearly. Pale skin, patchy beard, and a smile that didn't feel human, just slightly too wide, too forced. In his hand, he held something. At first, I thought it was a stick. Then I saw the handle, a screwdriver. He didn't say a word, just stood there, smiling, staring straight at me. I asked if he had permission to be on the property. No response. After a long, silent standoff, he turned and walked back into the woods. That should have been it. That should have been when I left. But I didn't. When the sun went down, I climbed out of my stand and started heading back quickly. That's when I noticed more of the orange markers. But this time, they weren't just on branches. Some were tied to sticks pushed into the ground, and hanging from one of them was a dead squirrel, strung up by its legs with wire. Underneath it, a rough circle had been drawn in the snow. Then I saw more. A rabbit, a crow, all hung the same way, like signs or warnings. My pace turned into a fast walk, then nearly a jog, and then I saw something that made me stop cold. My backpack, leaning against a tree. The same backpack I had left up in my stand earlier. It was open, my gear neatly laid out in the snow, like someone had gone through every single item. That's when it hit me. He had been in my stand, close enough to touch me, without me ever knowing. By the time I grabbed my gear and reached the clearing, my nerves were shot. Then I saw my truck. The driver's side door was open. I froze. I knew I had locked it. I always double-check. Always. Slowly, I approached, scanning the tree line. Nothing moved. Inside, nothing looked stolen. But something was wrong. My registration papers were sitting out on the passenger seat. I never leave them there. Someone had gone through my glove box. Someone had been inside my truck. I got in, locked the doors immediately, and started the engine. And then, I looked up, in the rearview mirror. There he was, standing at the edge of the woods, maybe 40 yards away, perfectly still. That same smile stretched across his face. He lifted his hand again, but this time he didn't wave. He pointed at me, then slowly dragged his finger across his throat. I didn't think. I just drove. Gravel flew as I sped out of there, not even slowing down until I hit the main road. I told the property owner everything. He swore no one else had permission to be there. Authorities were contacted. 2 weeks later, they found something. Deep in the woods, a makeshift shelter built from tarps and scrap wood. Inside, animal bones, stolen gear, evidence that someone had been living out there, watching, waiting. I never went back. I don't hunt alone anymore, and I definitely don't go into unfamiliar woods thinking I'm by myself. Because the truth is, you never really are. And if you think that was the worst story, just wait until you hear what happened at that abandoned hunting house in Texas.